Fox 2 News starts now.
He promised swift fiscal action, and today Mayor Dave Bing announced 1,000 city employees will receive pink slips.
The City Council says it's a good first step, but there's a lot more work to do. Fox 2's Bill Geller live right now in downtown Detroit with more on the impact to workers and city services. Bill.
Bill, as you know, the city is burning through cash on a rapid course to run out of money in the first quarter of next year. And Mayor Dave Bing says this is only the first phase of big layoffs for city workers. Mayor Dave Bing announced plans to lay off 1,000 city employees. That amounts to about $14 million, but far short of the city's budget gap.
Layoffs will not solve the problem. We have to talk to the union and get concessions from the union. If we don't get concessions from the union, none of the plans will work. We cannot lay off the entire city complement of workers. And in order to get to the 45 million number, you'd have to lay off everybody in the city, and that won't work.
And I'm not here only to be critical of the mayor. My job is to make sure that we're going to be able to effectively manage our way through this. And so, I know that we're waiting on our unions. Our unions are currently in talks with the mayor's office, but, we can't run the city based on what the unions might give us. So I think at this point, we may be looking at more layoffs if we don't get some of these pension and health care concessions or even wage concessions pretty quickly from our unions.
I think what they really want to do is low-hanging fruit. The easiest solution is beat the hell out the employees and blame the crisis that happens in the city of Detroit on the employees. We're going to do what our membership tells us to do. No one wants to lose their jobs. Everybody wants to have a compensation package that makes some sense. All that being said, it says whatever we do, it says it has to be a solution.
There's no sacred cows. But I will say, as I said from day one, I think the most important services that we provide our citizens are police protection and fire protection. They're the last ones that I want to impact.
The city has modified its timetable for the layoffs. Initially, they sent out a notice saying that they would be done before Christmas and the holiday season. Now they've changed that. They pushed it back to January 1st or January 21st of next year, and the effective layoff dates would be February 25th. Now, Governor Snyder is again weighing in on the question of Detroit's fiscal health and conditions, and he reiterated again his position is that he does not want to have the city have to turn to an emergency financial manager.
And what we really need to do here is rally everyone to identify there is an issue in Detroit. So that's why I wanted to be proactive to make sure people know here are things we can do, here's how we want to cooperate and help. And that's an offer I'm going to keep out there.
One of the things the governor said he is doing is reviewing the city's financing. And of course, in the statute that creates an emergency financial manager, there's a formal description of what you have to do. The city has to notify the state, and they begin this process. While that has not formally happened, the work that's being done in reviewing the city's books is certainly you could think of as a prelude for laying out the groundwork if any additional action would have to be undertaken, including naming an emergency financial manager who would have broad powers to breach any union contracts and effectively eliminate the powers of the city council. Yul?
Well, everybody appears to be drawing a line in the sand here. Is there any hope that the city and the unions can reach a deal before there are massive layoffs or before an EFM is appointed?
Well, there still have been some informal conversations, I'm told. The mayor says he's not going to negotiate in public. But one of the big differences is that the mayor wants them to reopen the contracts. And that's a legal point. Once you reopen the contract, then you can look at those issues like health care, like pensions, work rules, and things like that. The union leaders want to have informal talks without having going through that legal threshold, which is critical. And, of course, the financial manager has the authority to do that.
Bill Gallagher reporting live. Bill, thank you. Much more to come.